just a chat back and forth? Zoom it out? That's gonna respond with you?
Yeah.
Is this for your campaign?
No, they're just running a straw right now. A little bit of both. Supervisor and yeah, so.
We can keep decorum in here as well as the outside foyer. So with that, I will pull up the first 5 speakers. They are Janet Rosenthal, Jenny Jocelyn Hastings, Shelby.
Hills and open spaces. This is Prince William County's Field of Dreams. Unfortunately, Kevin Costner is not here though. In the words of James Earl Jones in Field of Dreams, people will come. They will come to a...
Plan. It looks like it's muted. Hold on just 1 second. It's the green light. All right, there you go.
Okay. But we need more people. People from the county, the state, and the nation. Remember, there is strength in numbers, has an obligation to the nation to do its best to preserve this national treasure. The preservation of the battlefield is no longer a county or state obligation. Congressman not destroying it. Supervisor Bodie, you have a young son. When he reaches the age when he studies the Civil War, particularly the Battle of Manassas, this is food for thought. What legacy are you supervisors going to leave your grandchildren? One that you are morally proud of, or one where the bench?
Yesli, Yesli, Vega, Vega.
And you are running for the 7th district, the 7th congressional district. You've come a long way in 2 years. You're the first Hispanic female to serve on the Prince William County Board of Supervisors, and from that you went on a statewide tour to rally the vote, Latinos for Youngkin. What is it about that experience and the fact that we saw more than 50% voter turnout amongst Hispanics for Governor Youngkin that has prompted you to want to run for the 7th congressional district?
It's just strictly that desire to continue to serve. We've gone to communities that for a very long time have felt like they've been ignored, even though you have some very loud organizations that claim to be the voice of certain, groups here in Prince William County. And we've actually put in the work. And at the end of the day, it's not so much about what you say, but it's more so about your actions. And we've had a lot of success with just, showing people a new type of leadership, a new type of, really being engaged with constituent services. And I think that has resonated with folks, not just for me in my current role as supervisor, but also in the opportunity that I had to serve as chairwoman for the Latinos for Youngkin. We were talking about issues, that the Hispanic community really cared about. It's often one-sided, and it's always about immigration. But you know what? People really care about the cost of living in Virginia. People really care about inflation when you're talking about things on the national level, but also people care about our southern border being wide open. These are issues that people really care about, and I think that, the more we talk about it, the more we engage people, the more we really realize that they want somebody that's going to come in and be a true representative of what matters to them.
So many parents in Virginia, whether they're first generation or they've immigrated here, they want a better future for their children. And there are calls as of late to remove the mask mandates. Teachers want the vaccine mandates removed. Are you hearing these same calls from a group of people who may have historically not spoken up before, may have immigrated here and just wanted to keep a low profile, provide for their family and not be vocal, but yet are now faced with their children's future and now wanting to make some noise about it?
I absolutely have. In fact, I was speaking to a family a few days ago, and they were sharing with me how a lot of the things that our children and educators have been put through reminds them of their country of origin. You know, this form of dictatorship where you're dictating and forcing yourself, you know, upon the people is something that they don't like. And you're absolutely right when you talk about, you know, not being very vocal. There's a lot of fear that has been, you know, brought forth, and it's impacting our kids in a way that we've never seen before. You have kids who don't want to use the mask, who clearly have health issues, but they leave it on because they're afraid that they won't see their friends and that they're going to shut schools down. I think that we should never, you know, put our children in the position that they've been put, but most importantly, you know, also educators. I think that the governor's intentions were very clear. It is not about whether or not you want to wear a mask or not. It's about giving people, you know, the freedom to choose what is best for them. If you want to wear a mask, wear a mask. If you don't want to wear a mask, then you don't have to wear a mask. But, you know, we've seen things just spiral out of control where kids are being bullied, educators are being intimidated, and parents are being silenced, and that's unacceptable.
Axios reports today that President Biden will come through the 7th District to talk about Build Back Better. What's your message for President Biden as he comes to Virginia?
I find it comical that he now wants to come to the 7th District. I think that this is a good indicator that Abigail Spanberger is desperate and afraid of the outcome come November, and that's a clear indicator. You know, I think that we are going to stay the course. We're going to continue to talk to people, you know, about issues that really matter to them, and again, showcase a new form of leadership. You have somebody that portrays herself as a moderate, but 100% of the time votes with the president. I think that she doesn't clearly understand the new makeup of the 7th District, but we're happy to show her what that new makeup looks like. We've been serving and representing and engaging people here in Prince William County, and our momentum is just growing, and it's going to continue to grow by the day.
Now, Abigail Spanberger is being hit by Republicans because she is moving from she'll have to move from the western suburbs of Richmond into the new 7th. She doesn't currently live in the 7th. You live outside of the 7th District, and so there has been some criticism of you wanting to represent a district that you don't live in. We know that there's no law on the books stating that a congressional member has to live in the district in which they represent, but yet your opponent will undoubtedly use it as flack to attack you. So what do you say to those who are criticizing you about this issue?
Up until the final rendition of the maps, I was always in the 7th. You're correct. I was left a few miles out. It depends where you find yourself in the district. It can be, you know, 5 or 8 miles. But I think that the choice for voters in the 7th District is clear. You need somebody that is going to be a representative of the people, somebody that's absolutely going to be a check and balance for this administration, right? And I think that the choice is clear. Abigail does live about 50 miles from the closest point of the 7th, and I think that voters, other than political operatives, don't really mind that it's only going to take me 5 minutes to get into the 7th District. I currently already represent a little over 25,000 people in the 7th District, and I also have a few precincts that belong to the Coles District, which is the role that I currently serve in, that live in the 7th District. So I'm very confident that voters have seen our work throughout these past 2 years and that they're encouraged and motivated to help me continue to serve at a higher level.
Last question. Tell us one thing we didn't know about Miss Yesli Vega when we woke up this morning.
That's a great question. You know, I've always been pretty transparent and forthcoming. I don't think that there really isn't much that people don't know. You know, I'm a fighter. I'm a very passionate person, and I will always fight and stand up for what I believe in, even if it means standing alone. I have no issues with that. I think that it's no surprise to people that they've seen, you know, throughout the last couple of years what has transpired in these very chambers, but nonetheless, we've remained steadfast, and that's what we're going to continue to do. I think that in a time where there's a lot of political division, people are motivated and encouraged, you know, to see somebody that's willing, you know, to stand up and to fight.